They set it up. Now, look, I'm going to say this right now. I kept talking about my successorship to He-Cade. I ain't supposed to be no next He-Cade. I don't think. They took my He-Cade from that timeline where I'm supposed to be born to a wealthy politician who in this timeline was actually a friend. And become a saner. And I had that timeline stolen. Now, in that timeline, in that future incarnation, I'm supposed to have red hair and shit. These motherfuckers, the energy harvesting is so fucking bad. They were trying to set it up that I'd be born in fucking Russia in a really dirt poor family in Siberia and shit. Get this shit out of here, man. I got to get this shit the fuck on. This shit got to go. It be them fucking roach attachments like my little spirit guy kept saying. Get that shit out. They were going to set it up that I'd be born in motherfucking Russia or Norway, some old stupid shit like that. Bitch, I didn't ask for this shit, nigga. If anything, I want to be born into a black family again. I love being black. And I love being in the black body. There ain't nothing better, more, being black is beautiful. And that's the truth. With that being said, they were going to set it up that I'd be born into a poor Russian family and shit, and that I joined the harmonica, some bullshit like that, and suck some old cracker's dick just to get there. These motherfuckers stole that timeline where my life would be a lot better instead of hellish like it is now. My early life, my childhood, growing up in a beautiful middle-class black home was beautiful in New Orleans. I miss it. It was my teenage years and that nigga shit that fucked me up. To make a long story short, I had that timeline stolen by Ingrid Hybrid. It's something connected to these hoes right here. These crack-ass bitches. I had my shit stolen by these motherfuckers. I had my shit stolen by these motherfuckers and given and stolen, I had that timeline stolen by these motherfuckers. And my He-Cade, I'm guessing from that timeline, turned into an entity, a roach attachment, where I was made to think I'm supposed to be the successor of He-Cade or some shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, these motherfuckers be trading your consciousness around. That look like a pentagram, by the way. That is. They be changing your consciousness around and all that shit, switching your shit, putting it in entity attachments like they got in my consciousness of these fucking people that done cursed me and all this other evil ass shit. So they were going to set it up so that I get, so these evil ass motherfuckers, we're gonna set it up, so that I'm fighting this He-Cade and shit, and that, they were telling me something about you're gonna be the successor to He-Cade, but it's a sacrifice to Zendaya, and she gonna get the credit and all this other crazy ass shit, getting you to fucking fight with yourself, because like I say, they got me fighting at my soul consciousness, and they connect to your consciousness. It's some evil shit. I actually heard how they work. It's told by somebody's higher self, going back to Miracle Mile, is a bunch of wetbacks that be putting that shit on people. That be connecting to people's consciousnesses and stealing their shit from it. That's why, honestly, I'm not a big fan of them motherfuckers. But I'm still trying to find out the truth. I heard he was a fucking nigga or a fucking fake Jew. A Khazar Jew. Jewish. Because they wish they could be Jews. True Israelites are black. Now, with that being said, these evil motherfuckers took my entity attachment from that timeline of Hecate and made that a sacrifice. Set that up to be a sacrifice to Zendaya or some shit like that. And set her up to be my highest self and all this other craziness and harass me and fuck with me and all of that shit. And I've been trying to figure out the whole time what the fuck is going on. And see what's going on. These motherfuckers the whole time have you. That's why I got dark circles under my eyes. I'm going to say it right now. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. You can't drink with this evil ass insidious shit because they're going to go around and they're going to fuck with your damn consciousness, flinch that around and do all sorts of fucked up ass shit. You know, these motherfuckers literally have you living inside your motherfucking head and fuck up your own goddamn self. And I don't like it. You know, like I say, you know, I came up with all sorts of codes and shit on how to quell that. Like, with this shit here, 1113 hertz can shut that shit down. If you got voices in your head and shit. 6,000 hertz is another all-around good one. 17,000 hertz, 13,000 hertz are the best. And there's one that will fuck them up. And that's, I think it's 2160 hertz and 6666 hertz. But this is some evil shit. You know, I feel fucking entity attachments moving around right now, but it's outside of my consciousness, but it's in. It's like it's in the physical realm, but it's extended from my body. You know, goofy ass motherfuckers talking about, well, you got to be tied to this so you can be able to do this and do that, man. Get this evil, harmful, malevolent shit. I don't work with something that is meant to curse you to escape a curse. That's the craziest ass motherfucking thing I've ever fucking heard in my goddamn life. So anyways, with that being said, let me go ahead and try to articulate as best as I can with what I'm fucking dealing with. Because like I say, these motherfuckers get you caught up in storylines and shit, and the whole time you wasting you getting fucking harvested bad, and motherfuckers are living a life of O'Reilly at your expense. This is some evil ass shit. You know, I had Billy Bailey on a couple of occasions pretend to come and fucking help. I don't know what the deal with him is in this fucking situation, bearing Samity, and it's always about cutting off that child consciousness, but keeping me as a sacrifice. I refuse to be anybody's sacrifice. He even sacrificed my grandfather right here, took his soul consciousness. You know, the other night, I was putting my poor grandmother back together. And I was playing 125 hertz, 1185 hertz. And that was really helping her out, along with 3517 hertz, which could resurrect the dead body in the astral plane, as well as 3571 hertz. I was told, going back to that timeline where I got taken out of my body, that August 22nd, 2022, or 21st timeline, that my parents died. And, you know, an entity attachment of them actually told me that they got taken out of their bodies and they died on June or July 22nd, 2023. But this is some evil ass fucking shit. To have somebody stuck in hell where you're setting them up, where you steal everything off their fucking spirit body, their soul body. I gotta get this shit off. I feel these fucking roach attachments doing this shit. They'll try to do shit to obfuscate you from seeing where they're at. And a lot of these motherfuckers are coming from Malibu. That's where them and them roach attachments are at in the spirit plane. And we'll try to fuck your ass up. You know, there's a lot more I want to talk about, you know, and I talk about this shit every single fucking day. But you know, when I saw the extent of which I'm being energy fucking harvested, man, this is some cool evil ass shit. to have everybody else benefit off of what's supposed to be your money, your blessings, your timelines, your success. When I worked hard, why are you going to set me up to be a sacrifice for Zendaya and then turn around and say, if you decide to want to become reincarnated as He-Kid or some crazy shit like that, you got to be a sacrifice for her, but you don't get the credit. Her face, is superimposed. I saw in the spirit plane that her face was superimposed on my soul consciousness. When people see me, they see her. And I think that they took it from my teenage self and modified into her these evil-ass roach attachments. This shit out of here. I'm hearing this evil ass shit. They be having this evil ass smarmy shit. The minute you about to tell the truth, they'll come around and try to open up shit in your consciousness so motherfuckers higher selves can fucking hear, man. I'm trying my best to say what's going on and articulate it without sounding crazy. Without sounding all disheveled and all over the fucking place. Because this is pure fucking evil. They'll go and take your fucking child consciousness, turn that into fucking entity attachments they use against you. They did it with an aspect of my child self. And then they got this sneaky fucking He-Kid, they be telling me, drop this bitch's motherfucking real name so we can fuck with her. Show her who's boss. Really, what that is it's designed to basically break down your spiritual protection and be able to fuck you up. Which none of that shit never really was. That bitch is supposed to be for my next life incarnation. They got some sneaky ass entity that's attached, that's acting as the voice for all this evil ass shit. I remember one night when I got torn apart, entity attachments of my Egyptian ancestors came through and started putting me back. And they say they kept seeing like 3 fucking people who I guess are entity attachments for a bunch of people in Malibu and shit. That were coming together and taking my fucking astral body part, supposedly when I died on May the 1st, 2024. Like I said, I'm a skeptic, and I don't put a lot of whatchamacallit into anything. But I remember a couple of weeks after I was told I supposedly died, I started seeing weird shit, like fucking people blowing Aztec death whistles. People wearing Aztec masks and shit. All sorts of evil ass shit. I'm not supposed to die until the age of 86. White mask superimposed on people's faces and shit. All sorts of crazy shit. All sorts of evil ass shit.
And so he's actually coming home at that time, right?
Yeah.
So this confrontation takes place out in his vehicle in the driveway.
Yes.
You go out there with your mother?
She went out first, and then
You know, got me stuck. I feel it. In between the realm of the living and the motherfucking dead. And I hear these evil ass roach attachments. Because I've had everything taken from me, but I'm trying to get everything back. I'm going to say something right now. You don't want anything in the hands of these people or their roach attachments, because when shit is in their fucking hands, they're going to take every fucking thing from you. And that's not something you want. I should have never went down the road of listening to these roach attachments and allowing them to guide me. They'll simultaneously tell you the truth, but like I said, in all timelines where I supposedly got my shit together, I'm still under the fucking curse. I don't want to be under this shit. It's got something to do with a false soul contract. You know, and supposedly the way these motherfuckers had it set up, when I annulled it, when it supposedly got annulled by that so-called, higher self one night, who's dressed as a sacrifice angel, because they sacrificed her. They were able to keep a lot of my shit that's on my body. I saw on the spirit plane they have a lot of my astral body parts. The way these roach attachments work is they clasp onto your crown chakra and then take everything from you from there. And that's how they operate. And they're hard to get rid of. They're extremely difficult to get rid of. Once they become your consciousness, which is what they aim to do. And then from there, to make it even more evil, which is how people die in their sleep, they manipulate your entity attachments to God, become that, and then facilitate killing you in your sleep. And then bringing roach attachments, like I saw Mikey Hernandez on, coming from people who either want to sacrifice you or, like I say, I'm going to say it right now, I saw, just like I saw with Trump, I know that sounds crazy as a motherfucking, I support him. I saw Madonna, connected to this Ingrid Heiberg.
So why come forward now?
And I keep getting told that, she connected to them wetbugs who put this shit on me, and they were the ones, or she was the one that sold me. I kept getting Peter Frampton and shit to him as a sacrifice, and I got all these evil ass people in my timelines and shit. And they keep extricating me from my original consciousness and from my original timelines to not only, I feel, create confusion, but to keep me stuck to the fucking curse, which I never consented to. I never asked for it. This is the most evil ass motherfucking thing. Like I said, if I wasn't under a curse by Billy Bailey, this shit would have never happened. I would not be under any motherfucking curses. My life at the age of 41 should be free. I should have a lot of money in my checking account. I shouldn't be living here. I should be doing well. I'm just going to say it like that. And when I saw where the people who got up on what's supposed to be my shit are at versus where I'm at, it's depressing. I'm constantly, like, I'm going to say how evil this curse is. That Alex Nascimento entity, which is an entity that likes to sacrifice people, will get motherfuckers to provoke me so they can go over there and start fucking with the person. And to make it worse, give your blessings to the motherfuckers who are your enemies, just like they did with a lot of these motherfuckers here at Coronado Island. There was a Dagawa bitch who stole my birthright to become an artist. and to be successful at it from here. Education with them in 2011. You know, and they feed off your ego, get people to fuck with you who, and then give you your blessings away to them people once they fuck with you. That's what the Alex Nascimento entity, that's what Billy Bailey, Baron Samedi, that's what Don Toliver does. That's why I'm going to keep saying their motherfucking names until they're extricated permanently from the spirit plane. And supposedly this Alex Nascimento entity is supposed to be a guru who has permission from God himself or the demiurge to do it. But from what I understand, my God, I kept seeing an insectoid or something. They put an insectoid consciousness on them, a roach attachment or some shit like that. I don't know if that connects to Beelzebub or some shit. But from what I understand, my God was fucked up and was compromised because of this curse. That's why I was at a major disadvantage. You know, like for instance, I kept seeing a wetback as my higher self. And I was told it's supposed to go back to that old neighborhood. You know, I've been trying to put it, you know, set it up to be my grandmother, but she's stuck in hell rounds. You know, my grandmother Dorothy was a Creole woman. Well, black. You know, it's hard fighting something like this when your higher selves are your enemy that sacrificed you. You know, I had to put that child Topa as my higher self, but her consciousness is connected to the motherfuckers that sacrificed me. So what the fuck do you do? You know, I try to change it and it keeps reverting back.
Driving without an auto protection plan? Simply not enough.
You know, I just don't know what to do. You know, and every time, you know, I mean, it's so bad. I can only work with tokens of my ancestors, of my spirit guides, of my highest fucking selves. You know, they have my consciousness open to where anybody can fucking come in. I can't even think a fucking thought without it, you know, feeling like a landmine. You know, I have a fucking thought, it could physically affect something in my fucking internal spirit body or something, break something, because of how these motherfuckers have it set up. It's an evil curse that breaks you down all the way to the core, to the soul consciousness. That's why I want this shit off of me. I want Alex Nascimento. I want Billy Bailey. You know, most people, they set it up where they keep the shit, they shit, but they turn it into an entity attachment and set it up to where they can't get back. I got to get this shit off because I'm not living the life that I'm supposed to and that I really want to. You know, you think I want to be poor? I don't want to prostitute either. I think that's disgusting. That was a curse that was placed on me by Billy Bailey. Look at this card that's shining right here. Poor, poverty. He was trying to get me to drink earlier. You know, I'm trying to think of how to get this evil shit off. Every time me and, you know, like I say, I only got that child spirit guide to work with because just like with Billy Bailey, we have our ancestors and them signed soul contracts to keep me stuck to the curse, that they're not to help me if I get cursed or if I'm under a curse. Billy Bailey, Baron Samedi set that up. And Alex Nascimento threw all of my ancestors out of my consciousness and put up just random fucking people. You know, that's what happens when you're under a curse. That's why I'm not trying to be under that demon and deal with that evil shit. This is fucking depressing. You know, you don't see me talking on street corners. You don't see me doing drugs. You don't see me talking to myself. So you know I ain't gone. I still have my consciousness. I'm still alert. I'm still sane. But this is some evil shit because it's a death curse that masquerades as a schizophrenia curse. And the bitch who put it on me was some jealous bitch that was jealous of the fact I used to walk around topless on the PCH and shit. You know, it was a blonde hair, blue eyed white bitch. You know, another evil thing they have been doing as part of this curse. She put up a mantra like, I want you to be all fucked up. Really fucked up. Another thing they did with that fake Hike, now that I think about it, was they set it up. Not only, you know, like I say, that's supposed to be my next life incarnation. They set it up so that the last time when I was in the process of building myself back up, they had my past life self. I was supposed to have been Swedish in the past life or some shit like that. Signed soul contracts with her and a couple of other motherfuckers, a wetbag by the name of Sandra Pimentel, who works at Vons, who I got into it with, you know, right before this shit really hit. And there was another motherfucker, that angry hybrid motherfucker. I think it's this bitch here could be this. They sign soul contracts so they can become the next Hike and shit. Really, it's about manipulating your consciousness and keeping you stuck to storylines and keeping you tied to unfair soul contracts. You know, they took over, from what I understand, the consciousness of that past life self, of that Swedish past life self. They took over her consciousness and fucked it up. So I couldn't get my shit back. And she was connected to that Hike. But like I said before, that's supposed to be my next life incarnation. But they set it up so that I got to go through hell just to get them off my ass, just to get them out of my timelines. That's really what it comes down to. It comes down to motherfuckers energy harvesting, stealing your powers, stealing your shit, trying to bind you to soul contracts you ain't even consented to, talking about the real Hike gave consent to that crazy shit. And then sending a version of her to come through and try to, you know, break that shit or some crazy shit like that. A nicer version of her. You know, her consciousness would dominate a lot of minds.
At the time
And she had a nicer aspect of it. It's supposed to be from a higher self or something of hers that I saved in the astral plane that she got rid of and replaced with roach attachments or some craziness like that. I'm just trying to put everything together. But this is some wicked shit, you know, and then they have you, you know, convey these storylines, and really it's just it's bullshit. It's real. Don't get me wrong, it has tangible effects, but it's meant to keep you stuck under heavy fucking curses. And keep your attention diverted towards unimportant shit. You know, you being gained up on in your own fucking head. But it's real. Because again, these motherfuckers harvest off of your consciousness. They steal from your consciousness. Now, I mean, at the beginning of this curse, when, you know, I got an Ashley Handstead or Abel or something, it's supposed to be in a separate timeline where I'm still connected to the body through my whole soul consciousness, but, and they keep trying to separate me from that, where somebody supposedly soul swapped, and I saw that going back years ago. I was told by the roaches it's supposed to represent that, but I don't know how true that is. And people that were saying, oh, you don't want to be in Hollywood and do our rituals and shit like they talk about with the Illuminati were actually record execs that were setting me up to be soul swapped. That's you know, they keep you pinned to that storyline, and that's a major fucking hurdle. But you know, I believe in quantum jumping, just like quantum healing. You can always jump back into that shit. They actually had somebody on this channel that suggested that. And I know my fucking eyes look possessed as a motherfucker. You know, like I said, I'm trying my best. My features be changing every single fucking day. I look dead as a motherfucker. I got black circles under my motherfucking eyes. Again, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I got this T up here. I can't fuck with that shit because of what I got. You know, they be sacrificing me to Santa Werthe's realm, Hecate's realm, Baron Samity's realm, and all this craziness. Trying to get you emotionally connected to this evil shit. Now, you know, from what I understand, before this curse started, Alex Nascimento had placed roach attachments, but on the right side, where they were coming and feed. In other words, take my spiritual powers, take my blessings and shit, and administer it to the motherfuckers, I'm guessing wetbacks in my old neighborhood that cursed me. I'm trying to remember what I wanted to talk about that original timeline. You know, I heard people have actually seen it. I didn't want to believe that it was real, but I... Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm guessing everything is real. But there was something I wanted to say. They've been putting all sorts of adversarial shit in that timeline to keep me out. And I hear like it's under like major, not protection, but like you can't get back in.
Here's my question. Does your belief in Earl go up and down with whether you're liking him or not?
You know, it's like it all comes from my body, and they keep extending shit from my body and using me as fuel to keep me away from my own shit.
At the time, or who you like at the time. And I'm not being the smartass when I say that. We do have the tendency to believe people that we like, and we tend to believe those that like us.
Mine and Amanda's relationship has always been straight. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we were close buddies all the time. Yes, I did.
You know, from what I understand in that timeline, because of that Heke, that's why I gotta put that shit to my next life incarnation. I just feel all this shit's just being set up for energy harvesting. You know, I heard that I kept seeing the Illuminati in my timelines. The girl who took over my body was soul swapped. At first, it was a roach attachment by the name of Rosie. I talked about it in my book, Astral. And it was just that girl's consciousness, Ashley Abel, somebody from Destrehan, Louisiana. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That took it over. And it's funny. Right before this curse commenced, I saw people, entity attachments of somebody from a family in Destrehan, Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana myself coming through.
Nobody's saying that you fostered, sponsored.
You know, and they were on a raft or something.
Let's say it's 10 years old.
And I saw it when, you know, now I see it was in my consciousness, you know, which that book Astroworld is supposed to be the basis of. I had my memory stolen from that, so the motherfucker who cursed me could write the book. Got no Kala or Orozco or some shit like that, Jeanette Orozco, Peter. I gotta, they keep changing it when I try to find out what it is. But from what I understand, with this whole, it just seemed like a setup with this Heke shit. They set it up where I become an incarnated goddess and I get sacrificed. You know, and the Illuminati will accept it. And they give you a black card for soul swapping. And it has to be with somebody, you know, if it's an incarnated god or something, you have to sacrifice somebody that was an incarnated god or some shit like that. So I think that's where they set that future timeline up with, you know, where the Heke from that entity attachment from that future timeline got stolen from that future incarnation and set up so that I stay under heavy curses. Yeah, I remember I kept hearing, you know, if you choose to be Heke, you're going to have to expect to be poor and all this other crazy ass shit. I remember at the beginning of this curse, I was told you're supposed to wait till 7 years before you get back in your body. And when you do, you're supposed to expect to be poor and crazy. To be set up in that manner without, like I say, these motherfuckers came to me through astral projection going back to 2017, 2015, 2014 is the most cruel, evil ass thing. To set up that path for somebody so you could come up and benefit. And benefit off of somebody's misery is insanity. It's crazy. That's the most evil ass shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. To set somebody up for failure so you can come up. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck put this shit on me so I can beat their ass or do something worse. I want them dead. I have an idea, but I want to fuck their asses up because my time was supposed to come. And I don't like the fact that my shit's being denied without my consent and without my motherfucking involvement by forces I never contracted with. That shouldn't be playing no part in my motherfucking life. I never contracted with an Alex Nascimento. I never asked for any of that shit. And I don't give permission to Billy Bailey, Baron Samity, or Don Tolliver to act as my mind. And none of that evil ass spiritual shit. Having that child told to sign fucking soul contracts. extensions of my child consciousness that's all fucked up. They be taking your child consciousness and fucking that shit up and everything else. Let me get off of here because I feel I'm getting drained by this shit. I feel like a loss of consciousness as I talk. Vital parts of it, so I can't speak my truth. I can't speak about what's going on. Let me stop.